If you're bracing before every session, feeling like you're about to suit up for battle, it is not just you. White knuckling your way through client after client does not mean that you're failing as a trauma therapist. It's actually the survival parts of your brain trying to protect you, trying to do exactly what they were designed to do, and it sucks. Today, though, I want to show you one simple shift that can help you stay present for your clients and especially for yourself, starting right in the middle of a tough session. First, though, if you're new here, I'm Jenny Hughes, a trauma psychologist and founder of the Brave Trauma Therapist Collective. I've spent over 15 years working alongside other trauma therapists who carry the same invisible weight that you do. And I stand beside trauma therapists right now because you deserve to be human in your sessions too, not just your clients. So, if it feels like you're always dreading your sessions or constantly running late, armoring up even behind a calm face, it's not because you're not cut out for this work. Please hear me when I say that. You're human. You're a caring and empathic human, and you're going to be affected by this work, which means all these things are actually signs of vicarious trauma in your body. It's your brain's way of saying, this is too much. I need a shield. And honestly, it makes sense. You can't walk through water without getting wet, right? And as important as it is to honor and acknowledge all the work your brain is doing to protect you, you don't have to let that survival brain run the whole show. So let's first get into the science behind all of this. When you're doing trauma work with your clients, your brain can't tell the difference between their trauma narratives and your own lived experience. This is because as you're listening to your clients' stories, your brain naturally takes them in as real time information. You might start to picture what your client has gone through. Your own thoughts and feelings are naturally going to come up. And your brain actually starts to think that those images of these awful things are really happening to you right now in this moment. So, what will this naturally do? It kicks your brain into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, flop. It goes straight into survival mode. But you're in session. You're stuck in your chair doing this work. You can't move to fight. You can't run away. You can start to freeze and dissociate and zone out. But then you come back and it's a whole new jarring experience. All this while keeping that calm face that we talked about at the beginning. It is a lot. And yeah, most of the time you're regulated, you're present, but there are also many times when you are pushed outside of your window of tolerance. You know, that sweet spot where you feel steady and present even on a hard day. And just as you teach this to your clients about that window of tolerance, your brain and body are allowed the same care and support because you live with the same wiring, the same evolutionary rules. So, if this is what your brain naturally does, it helps to learn how to catch it for you when it's happening in your work as a trauma therapist. So, you can have more awareness when you've left your window of tolerance in session. Some signs that you might be moving into a survival mode could be that buzzing energy where your heart's racing, you feel tight. Maybe you're nodding along, but your mind is spinning. Or it could be the opposite. You feel yourself drift, zone out, like you're floating above the session, going through your grocery list, and fighting to get back in. As you're listening to me right now, check in with your brain and body. What do you feel? What's resonating? What images of recent sessions are coming back to you right now? Maybe grab a sticky note and jot down these signs of your survival brain kicking in. This is the start to creating kind of like a personal map, one that's going to evolve dynamically for you and serve as your guide so there's less guesswork along the way. When you do the work of listening in, your brain and body are going to tell you exactly what they need. Now, once you spot it, here's the shift I want you to try. It's called a somatic stop, and I learned it from my very talented EMDR consultant, Viviana Ordaneta. It's tiny, it's simple, and you can do it mid session without even missing a beat. Okay. So take a moment, put yourself back into one of those situations of survival brain that you were thinking about. And let's just pretend you start to notice your heart racing and your jaw clenching as you're working with a client. As this session comes online, I want you to imagine yourself pausing just for half a second to name it. Maybe just a word: buzzing, gone, tight. Then I want you to have a tiny container ready. So this does require a little bit of prep. It could be a small box on your desk, or maybe it is a tub of lotion that you twist open, right? You can do this pretty subtly, especially on when you work via telehealth, but also it could be something like you just draw a square or a box in your notes, okay? Then I want you to visualize putting that survival signal, that tense jaw, that racing heart inside the container. Obviously, we're pulling this from EMDR and we're making it real. That's why I want a physical container. Okay. So as you put it in there, you're going to close it. Then take one slow breath. You can do all of this in session with your client without them even knowing. Okay. Feel that breath drop into your belly or your feet. This tells your survival brain, I see you, I got you, we got this together. And it only takes a moment, okay? And it's enough to bring your thinking brain back online and keep you present with your client and with yourself. And then when the session's over, do not skip this part. You got to take a few moments to check in on whatever that survival signal was that you put into your container. Take a moment to notice, what was it that pushed you out of your window of tolerance? Get curious about what your survival brain picked up on that maybe you had brushed past. The somatic stop helps in the moment. It actually is very similar to a practice in meditation called noting, where you note the thought and then as you give it a name, it's able to move on. But we're adding on to that by having the container to catch it. And the reason we're catching it is so you can reflect on it afterwards, okay? Because the reflection helps you understand the patterns. And this is not about changing your brain and body's natural reaction to this work. We never want that stuff to stop. But it is about giving those signs and signals the attention they deserve so they don't have to keep getting louder and louder, leading to that white knuckling and armoring up. And you want to know the secret ingredient to really move through these experiences instead of trying to push them away? Knowing that you have a titanium net of support from other trauma therapists who really get it, because we are not wired to carry this work in isolation. So, if hearing this hits something tender in you and you want more real world ways to stay human in the therapy room, come join us in the Brave Trauma Therapist Collective. It's where you get to drop the armor for a minute, where you get to say, I'm not okay. And know someone will say, me too. And here's what helped me get through last week, or simply, I'm here for you. This actually literally happened to me yesterday. I was having a number of sessions throughout the week where I was feeling everything so deeply, so much in my body, and it was just all coming to the surface, not in a bad way, but in a very visceral way. And I dropped that into all of the support that we have in Brave. And even as the founder, even as the person that's running the show, I received the love and support that I was needing. Because again, we're not wired to do this work alone. The link to learn more is down in the description if you want to take a peek inside. And know that you don't have to white knuckle your sessions, and you never have to carry this work alone.